My name is Jenna, and this is Gin and Tonic. If you are a cocktail drinking nerd like me, hit that subscribe button and join me for a drink. You may notice that I have some extra decorations today, and that is because I am celebrating Mardi Gras. The hurricane. Obviously, the hurricane was created in New Orleans, or else why would I be associating it with Mardi Gras, right? And a lot of the history that I learned about it, I found in one of my books, The Cocktail Companion. And this is another nerd out on a whole nother level, because in addition to the history, it also gives you all of the dates of when cocktails were used in specific movies. So, like I said, whole nother level of nerd here. If you're interested in this, I'll link it for you below. But when I was reading this, what I learned was that not only did the drink the hurricane originate in New Orleans, but it originated at Pat O'Brien's. So Benson Harrison O'Brien, aka Pat O'Brien, moves to New Orleans in 1929, and by 1933 he set up his own speakeasy, which he names Mr. O'Brien's Club Tipperary. At this time, he became one of the best bootleggers in New Orleans and Mississippi. And some fun facts about him: apparently he was extremely tall. He was 6'4", loved to wear white suits, and was very fond of short women. So fast forward to post-Prohibition, 1942, he is looking for some whiskey, as legend has it, and he tries to get it from his distributor, and they say, "I'm not gonna give it to you unless you order a bunch of rum," because this is what was widely available at the time. So he orders all this rum so he can get his hands on some whiskey, but then isn't sure what to do with all the rum that he has. So he creates the Hurricane. And this has 4 ounces of rum, as well as orange juice, passion fruit juice, and lime juice. And at the time, I guess the drinks he was making were about 15 cents per drink. And he had to put an ad in the newspaper to explain why this drink was 60 cents, which I guess by today's standards is an extreme increase in price. There's a lot of variation when you look this drink up on how to make it and how much juice to put in it. I don't love a lot of juice. This is already way outside of my comfort zone. My favorite drink is a Manhattan or a Vieux Carré, so really living on the edge today with this one. I did find one recipe that had as much as 4 ounces of orange juice in it and a little bit of simple syrup. So what I think is that you should just do according to the sweetness level that you like. And because I don't enjoy an extreme amount of sweetness, I'm not going to do simple syrup, and I'm just gonna do 1 ounce each of each one of my juices. So to start out with, I'll go ahead and add 2 ounces each of my Flor de Caña rum, as well as my Myers rum. And shout out to my girl Mary Beth for 2 reasons. 1, thank you for the book. Also, the sweet potatoes that I make every year for Thanksgiving is a recipe of her grandmother's, which includes Myers rum. So I'm thinking about you today. Next, I'm gonna squeeze a little bit of fresh lime juice, and I'm running out of space here, so I went ahead and squeezed my orange juice. Can't forget 1 ounce of passion fruit juice that I went out special for today. For grenadine, I'm just gonna add a spoonful, and this is more just to give it the red color that you expect with a hurricane. And the last thing that I'm gonna do is add a little bit of bitters. I saw a couple recipes calling for peychaud's, which makes sense with it coming from New Orleans. I'm gonna use my homemade orange bitters, which I thought would go really well here. And it's time for a shake. I thought I had a hurricane glass and I don't. So I'm gonna use this glass, which is kind of shaped like a hurricane glass. But what I'd like to say about this is we're all making a lot more drinks from home, right? So use what you have. So put a couple cubes of ice, whatever you've got in there. And then I'm gonna double strain this because I've Don't want any of the shards of ice to go into my drink. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the cake that I have sitting next to me, and this is a traditional Mardi Gras dessert. This is the king cake, and there's always a baby in the cake, and if you find the baby, it's said to bring you prosperity for the following year. But you also have to buy everybody's drinks if you find it, since you're going to be prosperous for the next year. So it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. So for garnish, traditionally you'd use a cherry and an orange. I've still got my scrumptious Traverse City cherries, so I'm going to use one of those with my adorable little pick here. Went all out for this one for you guys. So I've got a little cherry and slice of orange. Well, I certainly don't feel like it's 15 degrees outside, that's for sure. This is very tasty. I mean, it's got a lot of rum in it, so this is gonna be fun to get through today. Very tropical tasting, perfect to have by the pool or when it's snowing, in my case. I really don't think I could handle any more sweetness though. This is kind of the max for me, but if you're not the same, if you really like sweet drinks, maybe add a little bit more of the passionfruit syrup or even some simple syrup if you want to. But yeah, quite scrumptious if I do say so. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. Throw me a like, put a comment down below. I'd love to hear what everybody thinks and what your plans are for Mardi Gras this year. I am Jenna, and this is Gin and Tonic. Cheers.